today we're getting to do something really fun. The folks over at TubToday gave me a call, said they were bringing a brand new bathtub into their showroom. It's not a new model for them, it's a tried and true tested model that they've had for a long time. But this is their Capri outward swing door walk-in bathtub. This is a really popular model. It's one of the outward swing doors, so super easy to get in and out of this bathtub. It's 30 inches wide by 52 inches deep. Once it's assembled with the fill kit and the panels, fits a standard 30 by 60 tub pocket. So this is a contender for most of the folks out there. Real nice wide seat, ton of jetting options, really customizable. If you get this bathtub, you can take the tub guy word for it, you won't be disappointed. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to give the folks out there an idea of how these bathtubs come if you order one, to have it drop shipped or delivered right to your home. As well, a great video for contractors out there, just to give you that little bit of heads up if maybe you have not installed a lot of walk-in bathtubs and you want to make sure that you're prepared if you do get hired to install a client's walk-in bathtub. I did unbox this bathtub outside. That part's real basic. Take the crate apart, it's very nicely shipped, saran wrapped, the whole works. I inspected the bathtub outside. This bathtub, typically, if we were going to install it, we would do a quick water test. We have a fitting that we kind of built out of some PEX tubing. It's got a couple of hose adapters, hook a garden hose up to it, run some water, run the jets, inspect everything for drips outside. Takes about a half hour to do it, but it can save you a lot of heartache. I do this with every bathtub, make, model, you name it. Things are getting bounced around in trucks on their way and during transit to your home. Great to make sure that if you have a fitting you have to tighten, do it while it's out in the garage, because it's super easy to work on in the garage. It can be a little bit of a knuckle buster when it's all set and screwed in place and piped in the bathroom. So without further ado, I want to get into the parts, and I'm going to take you through kind of step by step what it's like to put this bathtub together, level it, and we're going to kind of quote unquote install it in your bathroom. What we're really going to be doing here is putting it in kind of the front vestibule of the TubToday office. When folks come in, this is going to be the first thing they see. The TubToday office also has a really nice grand showroom with all sorts of walk-in bathtubs, but this is going to be the first thing you see when you walk through their front doors. This is my tried and true, this is the hand tool bag, my go-to that I bring on every job. I don't do as many of these installs as I used to, but I used to throw this guy over my shoulder. I could head up to a high-rise, walk into a house, and this thing would get me through about 60% of the work I needed to do on a job. So this TubToday bathtub, real quick, this is the outward swing Capri model. And TubToday tells me that this is exactly how they receive all of their bathtubs. What is super cool about this is that all of the fixtures are already installed and trimmed out. The only thing left to do is hook up the gooseneck and pop the hand shower on, throw some trim, the handles on the cartridges. What you've got here is your hot, your cold, and then your diverter to go from hand shower to tub filler. That'll all make more sense when I'm all done here. And you've got your hydro jets, so your water jets. You've got your air jets. I said that backwards. You've got your water and your air. They're all labeled so you can see what does what. Let's see, this one actually even has independent foot massage, so it's got a second pump. So down at the bottom here on this bathtub, you can fill it up just above or just below the seat and just run the jets on your feet. You see there's a ton of jets on this bathtub. You're also going to notice the drain, waste, and overflows are already assembled. It's already trimmed out. The only thing you need to do is put the pop-ups in the waste. Let's see, what else does this bathtub have? So right over here, We have the heated seat in back. This is an option. I'll tell you, generally speaking, the most important thing to have on your tub is the inline water heater. I'll show you that on the back real quick. We are going to see back here, we've got two pumps. So what we've got is one pump that's going to circulate the water for the lower side of the bathtub, and a second pump back over there that's going to do the upper part of the bathtub. So you've actually got two whirlpool pumps. I mean, talk about an intense, amazing massage. This unit right here is the inline water heater. So as the pump pulls the water in, pushes it out through the impellers, it's going to run through this heater. The heater's then going to circulate warm water, keeping your bath nice and warm for as long as you want to soak. Other features over there, you're going to see an ozone generator. So as you're running the bathtub, it creates a small amount of ozone to sanitize the water, keeping all the lines and all the hoses clean. You're going to see how everything is really all hand assembled. All the really nice, you know, if you're an electrician or have any electrical background, you always pay attention to pipes and symmetry. I really appreciate the fact everything's nice and neat, everything's piped really well. You can see the manifold up here. It's got quick connect fittings for the air lines, which is nice for service if you ever did need to service the bathtub. Overall, I mean, really for installation as well, you've got a couple of handles welded on the back here. You notice the TubToday frames are all chrome plated. I mean, just a super robust bathtub. When we go through, and let's take a look a little bit lower at leveling feet. So you're going to see on this bathtub, we've got 2 feet in the back. We've got 1, 2, 3 feet in the center and another 2 feet in the front. And there's actually a 4th foot there. So you have a total of 8 leveling legs. Now, the more leveling legs on a bathtub, the better. And the reason for that is you're dispersing the weight, you're minimizing vibration, and it's just giving you the most robust foundation that you can possibly have on your bathtub. I love how on these TubToday bathtubs, it's always taking things one step further. You know, in every aspect of these bathtubs, from the jetting to the drains to the leveling feet to the ability to run your jetting in 2 different zones. Everything is like one step above and beyond what you're going to find from every other bathtub out there. All right, but enough of that. We're getting into installation. So let's look over this way. What are you going to find when you receive this bathtub? So you're going to see all of the hoses, all of the supply lines are braided stainless, and everything is already neatly assembled right at the factory before it comes to you. Same thing with the dual waste and overflow assemblies. It's all piped for you already. Reason for that is everything goes through a water test before it comes to you. They run the jets. It goes through a full, I mean, I couldn't tell you how many point inspection after these things are built. But when it comes to you, these things are thoroughly water tested and ready to go, which from a contractor's perspective is beautiful because you want to get in there and do the work. You don't want to spend another half a day fixing the bathtub. There's nothing out there that's perfect. There's no doubt about it that occasionally you're going to run into something and you've got to be able to think outside the box and you've got to get your hands dirty and, you know, make adjustments and tune things up. But I will tell you, out of all the bathtubs I've ever installed, these are the most dependable, the most installer friendly, and they really create a nice, efficient, smooth process, which is also great for your customer, you know, because the client never wants to see you and they're struggling, repairing things on their brand new bathtub. It just keeps everybody happy. So let's take a look at what comes with this bathtub. All right, so down here, you're gonna see a dual, what I'm going to call a quad port. I think I've read that. But anyway, what this does, this allows you to run your waste and overflow above the deck, so above the subfloor. So whether you are on a concrete slab or you're working in a first floor, second story, up in a high rise, in a mobile home, you're going to be able to pipe this bathtub over to your waste. So what oftentimes happens if you're keeping the drain on on the same side of the bathtub, meaning a left drain and a left drain tub, you're gonna come out of port 1, you're gonna 45 over into a Y, you're gonna come straight out of port 2 with that Y fitting. These two are going to feed together. You're gonna come over, you're gonna 90 down into your trap, and then that's gonna be the home's waste line, and adios to the water. On the other side of the ports, there are plugs that come with the bathtub. So you're gonna have a plug or an insert that goes into the actual waste of the bathtub to plug the side that you are not using. I can barely reach it all the way over there, but you can see on the other side, there would be a plug. One trick I'll give you, put really, really heavy glue on that plug. Just the machining of those fittings, I have found, because I've actually put quite a few of these bathtubs in myself, like I said, I've done them all. You need a ton of glue on there. And that glue is really gonna just bind everything together. It's a solvent welded fitting, but put more on that plug than you would on your other typical fittings. On this side, this is a male fitting, so it's pipe size. So you're either going to couple onto this, you may reduce down to 1.5 right here. However you end up piping this, potentially you could even use a shielded rubber coupler. There's all sorts of ways to adapt to make this system work for you. As far as the supply lines goes, you're going to end up with two extremely long, what are these? I'm going to say that these 3/4 inch high flow supply lines are 36 or 48 inches. So what that does is, one, it gives you the ability to take the home supply lines that are coming up out of the floor, sweat, use a quick connect adapter, whatever you decide to do, and just boom, supply line to the home's supply line. So you're gonna take the braided, boom, and it's long enough where you can just quick connect it right onto the home supply line. In all reality, you could pick up like a Shark Bite brand 3/4 by 1/2 inch, 3/4 pipe thread male by 1/2 inch quick connect in a home with copper supply lines, pre-pipe that onto this guy in the garage. When you bring it into the home, you just boop, boop. The one thing I will advise, and I highly suggest, always put 2 full port 1/4 turn ball valves before the tub. Because in the future, especially on a well, anybody with hard water, there is a chance you may end up needing to service something on the bathtub. If a cartridge gets any debris in it, just standard maintenance type things, it's nice to be able to boop, boop, click the water off at the tub without having to turn and drain down the whole home if you ever do need to service. So drop the extra $40 on the ball valves, put them in, providing a great service for the client if you do that. Let's see, so what comes with the tub? You're gonna have your 2 pop-ups. So these are gonna just drop in to the tub's waste and overflow assembly. You're just gonna drop these in. We'll take a closer look at those in just a minute. We've got our handheld shower, and you can see water on everything because these things were just tested. Everything is tested. When you open these lines up, water's gonna drain out of them. They were just tested at the factory. You've got your hot handle, it's got the red dot on it. You've got your cold handle, diverter handle, it's got the chrome dot, and you've got your cold handle with the blue dot. They're really universal, but that's what they're intended for. You've got what I call a horseshoe shaped grab bar, so this is gonna mount on the deck, couple Allen bolts, put that guy on the deck, tighten it from underneath. These things are awesome, super strong. I don't know if any other company has a horseshoe shaped grab bar. Then you've got your tub filler. So big, heavy. We'll look at this thing closer, but it's solid brass, no plastic. This guy's gonna drop into the deck, and then you're going to run this supply right here. You got your red for your hot, you got your blue for your cold, and you've got the straight stainless braided. That's gonna go to your tub filler. Outside of that, boom, you're done. Bring it in the pocket, start leveling this bathtub. Another thing I'm gonna suggest to you is, while this bathtub is kind of up on a cart or out in the garage, loosen the nuts on the legs. you can flip this bathtub up on end. In fact, I'll do it real quick, and you can loosen all of these nuts. That just makes things easier when you're in the bathroom and you're kind of shifting this tub around and you're leveling it and you're kind of working on the thing. When you do get it into the bathroom, you want to keep all the center legs slightly up off the ground, level it with the 4 outside legs. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Then screw those down, fasten the bathtub. If you cannot get screws into the legs, throw some screws into the flange of the tub, into the back wall. Get the tub fastened. Then backtrack and put slight upward pressure from the center legs. And what that's going to do is it's actually going to put a little bit of pressure on the center of the tub. That way when it fills with water, it's going to kind of equalize the pressure of those center legs, and it's going to create a nice smooth door open and close. So 4 outside legs get leveled, fasten the tub, then backtrack and tighten down the center legs. Little trick. If you can't access those center legs and you're like, how am I going to do that? Level the bathtub on the 4 legs and then bring the bathtub out and put a little bit of down pressure on those center legs so the tub's almost teetering just a little bit. I mean, we're talking a 32nd of an inch, a 1/4 turn on the thread. Bring it back in the pocket, fasten it down, get it tight, and that's really going to be the key. Now, another trick. Let's say all of that just sounds like it's not going to work for your situation. Level the tub and then take some wood shims under those center legs and tap them. You can always get your hammer and just a tap and put some upward pressure on those center legs. I always like to put a little bit of glue. It lubricates the shims, whether it's silicone or construction adhesive, when I'm tapping them through. And then when that cures, it locks those shims in place. But you definitely want to figure a way to get a little bit of upward pressure on the center legs of the bathtub. All right, let's start putting this guy together. And in case you're wondering, it is a 3/32 Allen key that I'm using here. And what I like to do is I like to figure out where off is. So I put the handle on kind of in an arbitrary place. I find my off. Let's see here, meaning I kind of throw them on however I want to, twist the cartridge so it's all the way to where the off position would be. And then I fasten the handles on. So now I'm going to off. Once I tighten these guys, off, on, off. With the diverter, I just want to make sure that when my handle is in either position, it is parallel in the off position. So I'm going to go handheld, and over here tub filler, or vice versa. I'm not sure what one it's going to be. Doesn't matter. However they pipe it, it could be tub filler, handheld, whatever. Another thing I always like to just double check is that my cable drains are opening and closing nice and smooth, that the trim is on nice and tight, everything feels good. Put my little plugs back in the screw holes. Always put my Allen keys back, because there's nothing worse than losing an Allen key out of your set. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to check out and put on this horseshoe-shaped grab bar. This guy's going to go in these pre-mounted screw holes drilled in the tub. This looks to be a 7:30 seconds. That tub guy mug up here to keep all our little parts. So you're gonna see on this, there's a chrome trim, kind of an escutcheon ring. Fits right over and really trims out this grab bar really well. When I'm putting this in someone's house, what I like to do is just put a small bit of clear silicone on that, just a little bit, and it just gives you that extra little bit of protection to make sure no water ever drips through that. Underneath the bathtub, we're going to have the bolt, the fender washer, then the nylon washer. Then on top of the tub, we're gonna have our nylon washer, our escutcheon ring, and our grab bar. The nylon washer is pretty much gonna do a good job of keeping all water out of that bathtub. I mean, pretty close to impenetrable with just a little drip or a running water on the deck of the tub getting through there, but nothing wrong with putting a little gob of silicone on there too. So then the way I like to do this, I kind of set these trims up, lined up with the holes, sit my grab bar in there, and then I just kind of feel around down here underneath, get one of them bolts up through there, and just kind of move things around until it all lines up. I loosely get the first one setting in there, and then I backtrack with the second setup. Next thing, let's take this piece of cake project and get it knocked out. So this is your handheld shower. It's already piped. Washer, it's a straight thread because there's a washer in here, so we know it's a straight thread, so no paste or tape is needed. I just kind of get it started in there a little bit, make sure you don't cross thread it, and that helps you to pull out the hose. And then these are universal, so if you have any handheld shower that you love, go ahead and use it. But I really like this handheld shower. It's adjustable. You have a bunch of different stream settings. You just click this around and you're gonna be able to adjust and do a bunch of different sprays. So really nice, just adds to that whole spa therapeutic event that's gonna take place in this bathtub when you're filling it up and soaking. Next, we've got our tub filler spout here. So this is a nice heavy, you can see this thing is solid brass. It's all polished, nice chrome finish. These bathtubs are only available in chrome. You could potentially change out the faucet to a different finish, but your grab bars and your jets are always going to be chrome. So what I like to do, we've got our nut, our retaining nut, our rubber washer. I like to put a little squirt of silicone on the bottom of this faucet, and then I snug this nut and washer up from the bottom. I'm not doing the silicone, this is their display bathtub, and they've asked me not to, but we are going to still walk through what you would want to do at home. So I just set that faucet up there. I'm going to grab my channel locks, it's my tool of choice. And what I like to do is I kind of move this faucet in the opposite direction that I'm going to be tightening it. I hold the nut and then I use the faucet to actually tighten itself into place. That's how I get my last little bit of super tight. You can use that trick on your kitchen faucets and things too when they get loose. Kind of tighten it up when it's out of skew, and then once you get it as tight as you think you can, twist the faucet, and that'll get you that extra bit of tight. Then all your faucets will be locked in and they'll never get loose on you. Alright, so that thing is super tight. Get a little bit of silicone around there, and this guy's ready to go. Beautiful. Now with your tub drain and waste assemblies, these pop-ups come shipped all nice and wrapped and ready to go. They do adjust from the factory, but you really don't need to adjust them. So these just slip right into waste and overflow. And then up at the top, when you're twisting everything, you'll see these open, close, close, open, close, open. So there's nothing really to these. You know, this is the way the seal should look. You know, potentially these things can occasionally pop off or slip off, but you know, I don't know why that ever happens, but this is a real nice, you'll see it's got a double seal. So when this thing pops in, I mean, it creates a really nice tight seal. The more water pressure that is on this as you fill up the tub, the tighter the seal gets. And one thing I will point out, this bathtub is shipped with a little reminder, because this is a cable waste and overflow, it is important that you're not stepping on these while they're actually open. So when they're in the open position, you just don't want to step on it, because what you're doing, you're putting extra tension and wear and tear on the cable behind the bathtub. But while we're down here, look at these jets. I mean, I want to sit in this tub right now and get my feet relaxing on some of these water jets. This is awesome. Big old LED light right here. A bunch of jets on the back over here. Super, super awesome. Really nice setup. Couple other little warnings over here. They tell you not to grab the tub filler spout, so this is not a grab bar. 20 minutes after the bathtub turns off and you're done using it, it's going to turn itself back on. It's going to run an auto purge system that's blowing warm air through the jets, drying them out, making sure everything is clean and sanitary. It's also asking you to cover the controls during installation, just to make sure no dust or debris get caught in these. So it makes sense, throw a couple layers of painter's tape on the buttons while you're installing everything. I don't know if I mentioned, but back here we've got our chromotherapy light button, and yeah, so we've got our 2 water systems here, and then we've got our air system right there. So on this particular bathtub, you've got air jets, water jets, more water jets, adjustment for the intensity of both sets of water jets, and then you've got your LED lights back here, and then you've got your heated seat right here. This is like the tub. I mean, if you want a tub, this thing is set up. Door swings closed. Look at these pins, unreal. I know we're not doing a tub review video right now, but I've just got to show you. I mean, come on, get out of here. The door handle may come disconnected and shipped in the box separately. When you put it all together, big nut right here, and just snug that guy up. It's got a lock washer and a fender washer behind it, and then big, I mean, I swear this thing right here where it weighs, I don't know, quarter, half a pound itself, just big old solid milled cap for this thing. No plastic. Beautiful. All right. So you're gonna find some other things come in the box. These assemblies with all these nuts and bolts. What these are for, if you have end panels on your bathtub, these are going to be brackets that go on the front and the back, and they put extra rigidity into the panel, so it kind of puts pressure on the panel. So once you set it, you can adjust it so everything feels nice and stiff. Clips at the top to hold on end panels, and then there's screws with screw caps that would go on the bottom side of the panels. Let's see, you've got plugs for your drain and waste. So these are what actually go inside the drain and waste assembly. These are what I said, you want to put extra PVC solvent cement, prime them, glue them, just put it on real heavy, pipe and fitting. So you got 2 of those in there. You have this suction cup, which is a hook. So it's just a place to put, it's a plastic little suction cup hook. It's pretty cool. What else is really nice about these panels are not hard to get off, but you can use that little hook, and it's nice to pull these panels. So a little tip, little trick right there. So that comes in the box. Bunch of nuts and bolts, just miscellaneous to keep all these brackets on. So when you're installing these brackets, it's got the nuts and bolts to hold them on. One side's already going to be installed. The other side, they have the brackets in here for you. Go figure, it actually had the Allen key for that grab bar, so that's pretty nice. And then everything is just packaged really nice and neat. So let me show you how to move this bathtub around and what I like to do. So it's really ideal if you're contractor or installation team has 2 guys when it comes to install. Otherwise, either a furniture dolly or one of these deals. This is a Rhino cart. It's called an all-terrain mover. I found this at the K-Biz show out in Las Vegas a couple years ago. And these things are awesome for everything. You can take them off-road in the grass and they just keep on going, adjustable width. And this thing with the handles, these TubToday bathtubs have built in. I can move these tubs through a house on my own. So I'll show you how I do that. These guys have just asked to have this bathtub up tight against this wall over here. What I did though is I kind of pre-planned where my electrical was going to be installed. So I've got my 2 cords and they've got an outlet right back over here. If you were going to be using water in the tub, of course you would want to have a GFCI circuit or a GFCI outlet receptacle to plug this stuff into. We're not running any water, there's no plumbing, so we're just going to plug this into a regular outlet here in their showroom. But I loosened all the cords, they all came nice and cable tied in neat. So I'm going to kind of route these where I need them to be. All the installation with these tubs is planning. The second thing, all of the pumps, motors, etc. are all pre-grounded. They have all their bonding screws already wired. They've cross-bonded it to the frame of the bathtub. So all you need to do during installation, bond the frame of the bathtub to either the cold water supply line, check the code in your area. If it's a metallic supply line and it's not cut, meaning it doesn't have any splices of PEX or CPVC in it, or you can run it to a straight piece of conduit. If your conduit's bonded, you can run it ground all the way back to your water meter, but just check out the appropriate way to bond the bathtub. 9 out of 10 times it's going to be the cold water supply line. So like I said, there's built-in handles on this bathtub, make it super easy to move. I've got it on my Rhino cart and it's got these handles. So I'm just going to lift up one end and I'm just going to kind of roll this guy where I want it and get it right over here. And let's see. Next thing I'm going to do, I've got it pretty close to the wall, so I'm feeling pretty good about everything. I'm going to kind of lift up this end of the cart, and I just kind of, it looks kind of awkward, but it works. I just kind of roll with my feet, my furniture dolly out of the way, and I set that guy down. Folks, that's it. 90% of the work on this bathtub is done. This bathtub's now in the pocket, and it's ready to have your final piping, pop those supply lines on, level it, adjust those legs, get everything tightened, work the shins into the center legs, cut your filler extension kit, and you're set and ready to go. Caulk everything in place. These bathtubs are designed to go right up to the tile, so you don't even need to do a full demo on your bathtub space. If your tile's in good shape, save it. Otherwise, I know TubToday, they have, on display here in their showroom, they have solid stone walls you can order. So you could order 3 slabs of stone to go on your walls. You skip that whole tiling process and it's like beautiful. They even make their countertops for vanity. So like your walls in your bathtub could match your vanity top. Let's see, they also have like a PVC and acrylic mix, kind of a blend. These really pretty walls look like marble. But you could order all that stuff with your bathtub and have it shipped to you, and boom, your contractor. At TubToday, they put these tubs in a day, one day. I would expect your little greener contractor, a mechanical contractor, 2, he might even say 3 days, and that's okay. He wants to do a great job, not an issue. But a few days max. An experienced company will have this thing knocked out in a day. So as you can see, I was kind of threading the needle with this table they have sitting here. But you can flip this bathtub up on end on your own. It's not bad at all. Just kick up one side, be real delicate because you are rolling it on a little bit of this acrylic front skirt. But they're real durable. I want to bring you over and let's take a look at this plumbing and talk about a couple ways you can prep these bathtubs. Alright, so here we are underneath the tub. You can see this quad port drain, super cool. One side of this is going to get capped, but let's say you're taking the plumbing from the left side to the right side and you want to run your plumbing across the deck on top of the subfloor to get it to the other side. So they call that a trap arm, and it's going to come up out of the trap, across the deck, tee into these guys, capping these two sides of the waste. So what I like to do is pre-pipe this. And what my goal is when I'm piping this is to set me up so that when I'm doing the rest of my plumbing work, I am not busting my knuckles. So you'll notice, let me sit this down. You will notice when this panel is off the bathtub, and I'm now kind of mimicking the space. The easiest space I have to work is right here, okay? I've got quite a few things here. I can also real easily get right here. But right here, in fact, I think this would be my choice. So that's going to be my ideal spot. So my target is right here. So what that means is when I'm piping this, I'm going to come out and I'm going to want to leave access for a coupler right here, right where I can easily get to it. So I'm probably going to come out of this straight shot. I'm going to glue a Y on right about here so that the open end of that fitting, the hub, ends up landing right about here. Then I'm going to come out of this way, so I'm going to come down and I'm going to 45 into my Y. Everything, of course, going in the direction of water flow. But that's going to give me the ability to do one of two things. If it's really tight, I can just get my nut driver in and I could glue a small section of pipe into that Y and I could do like a shielded rubber coupler. The other thing is if I have room and I can get in and I can do fitting and whatnot, I may glue in a coupler. But all my work is going to be done here. I'm going to kind of pre-set up my trap. I'm going to do whatever I can, again, kind of thinking ahead so that I can set this bathtub and make things easy when I'm putting the tub together. So I guess the long story short, I'm giving you kind of years and years, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of bathtub installations. These tricks will save you a bunch of scratching your head if this is going to be your first time around. Second thing, now I've got easy access to all these legs. And again, look at all of the leveling feet on this tub. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you can just imagine, you got your tub tight down on the floor. It can be a little bit of a chore getting your crescent wrench or your wrench or your channel locks in here to loosen all these nuts. So either completely level the bathtub out in the garage. Problem with that is, what if your bathroom and your garage are kind of different in their levels? So I like to get it close. It's usually close right from shipping. Loosen all these nuts out in the garage and then carry it in. When you get in there, all you're doing is making adjustments, and then you just have to barely get these things tightened up so they're not going to loosen up, so it's real easy to get your channel locks or whatever and just to get them a little snug up. But outside of that, that's going to be kind of the prep work, and that shows you kind of under the hood of the Capri model walk-in bathtub. Now, each company that you're working with, all their bathtubs are kind of going to be engineered in a similar fashion. So this is what you're going to find. I think every one of the walk-in tubs from TubToday, except for they have one that only has one drain. So that'll be a little bit different. But yeah, so piece of cake, flip it up on end, do your prep work out in the garage, tips and tricks on how to pipe everything, And yeah, I'm totally confident if you're watching this video, you are going to be in good shape when you get your new walk-in bathtub. So on the inside of that main large access panel, it's going to give you some information. You'll see this is all handwritten, and it's handwritten because every tub is a little bit different. This one has air, hydro, ozone, LED lights, an inline water heater, LED light, heated seat, and back. So it's got the serial number. It also tells you this bathtub requires a 20 amp circuit at 115 volts. So here in the US it's 110, 120, and so a standard 20 amp circuit. I like to put the GFCI receptacle under the tub versus a GFCI circuit breaker. Reason being, in the bathroom, you can easily pop off the panel. If you do have a power outage, oftentimes these GFCIs trip really for no reason. And it can be hard for seniors or folks with disabilities to get to that basement circuit breaker. So I like to put the reset right under the tub, show the homeowner always where the reset is. Always, because again, during power outages, thunderstorms, these things can trip, and it doesn't always mean something's wrong with the tub. But then it's easy. They just pop the panel off. I mean, they're just held on by magnets, and click that reset real quick. So always make sure your outlet is stud mounted, or at least mounted and fastened in a secure manner, but keep it accessible. Again, thinking of yourself as the homeowner, you need to be able to get to this reset. Last thing you want to do as the contractor is be running out to this home every time the GFCI resets. There are some places who have real inconsistent power, and they lose power, once every 2 months, and these GFCIs may need to be reset. So set yourself up for success if you're the contractor, and homeowner, make sure you double check, where is that GFCI on my bathtub located? If you're in someone's beautiful hardwood flooring, you always want to keep cardboard or something on it. This floor's a little bit got some wear and tear, and they told me not a big deal, just kind of gently slide it around. They drive motorized scooters and the whole works around this place, but they're really easy to slide. They've got these silicone pads that are like non-marring, so they're really safe and they really don't damage the floor. But still, if you're on a finished surface, be careful on ceramic tile. If you're flipping these things on end, all of the weight of this bathtub is going on just 2 points. Be really careful. I don't want to see you damage a customer's tile floor by maneuvering and flipping these things around in their bathroom. Here's this beautiful bathtub. Now it's all put in its place, ready for you to finish up the piping. You've thrown the level on. Where do you want to level these bathtubs? You want to throw a level, and 2 foot level is completely adequate. It's hard to get anything longer behind all the buttons. 2 foot on the back side. You're going to want to throw your 2 foot back here on this side. Get this guy all leveled. I always give it a slight, like a quarter of a bubble pitched back to the back wall to ensure that when water does get on the rim of the tub during bathing and showering, it ends up flowing back this way, not onto the floor. Just a quarter of a bubble, not too much. But let's go ahead and test this baby. Let's see what's going on with this tub. So nice outward swing door. We've got jets for days in this bathtub. We know we are going to be relaxing in style, having that spa experience. We've done an amazing job installing it. We were efficient. We weren't busting our knuckles. We really did a nice job planning and preparing, prep work out in the garage. So let's go ahead and step in. Nice, easy step. Door swings right behind me, silky smooth. Boom, sealed. I go ahead, sit down. The installer's probably gonna take this off. And I bet you anything, if he's anything like me, he'll tape it right to the wall right here, and you can throw it away after you read it and make sure you don't forget not to step on the drains. Hot water, cold water, tub filler right here. I'm gonna flip this to go over to my handheld shower. You may end up with one of those hybrid rain shower columns. TubToday does offer those. I've got all my controls super easy, even if I have arthritis or carpal tunnel, really well designed with the plungers. I've got my grab bar when I'm going to get up and down. I've got my other grab bar built in. Your installer may even say, hey, let's put another grab bar on the wall right here. You can't have too many grab bars. And you know, of course, my dual drains, flip those and pop up and down. Beautiful acrylic shell. Nothing's gonna happen to it. I'm not worried like I would be if I had a fiberglass bathtub. So I'm sitting pretty. And let me tell you, this thing is comfortable. Look at these hip jets, down low, right on my hips. And I got bidet jets, back jets, hip jets, floor jets, independent foot jets and back jets, LED lights, inline water heaters, auto purge. I've got ozone generators. I mean, this bathtub is built like a tank and it's set up like a Cadillac. You're gonna absolutely love it. So I really hope this video helped you, gave you some insight on what to expect when your new bathtub shows up. Thank you to TubToday for letting me come out here and kind of mess around with this brand new Capri model. And hey guys, enjoy your new tub. If you have any questions, drop me a comment, like and subscribe to the video. If you need any help, I'll certainly reply to the comments. So have a great day. Thanks again.